Welcome to video 5 of the mini importation manifesto course. Alright, in this video we'll be looking at how to go about shipping your products to you, the cheapest way to ship your products to you. And you agree with me that shipping most times is one of the reason people run away from mini importation business, because it's funny, or it's not funny, when you buy an item for $40 and you're required to pay another $40 to ship it to yourself. It doesn't make any sense at all. So we are going to we're going to show you some ways you can get around this shipping wahala. Some ways you can get around shipping your item to yourself using the cheapest possible means ever. All right. The shipping methods, DHL, EMS, and FedEx, are extremely expensive. Even though they are premium services, they are extremely expensive. All right. If you want to use them, then you should make sure you've done your mathematics very well, and then are very sure you're making profits. I made a lot of mistakes in the past. I just buy and then I ship through DHL, and at the end of the day I just sell it. I managed to even recoup my capital. That's not funny. That's not what business should be. All right. And I've been trying to work out something with DHL, but they've not been yielding. They came to my office the other day to sell me a package on how I can be getting 65% discount on all my shippings. They wanted me to submit some documents, which I did, and they promised getting back to me when they are done with documentation. But to date, I'm yet to hear from them. So I'm assuming they can't just cope with such arrangements. So that led me and my team and my crew into digging into different other ways you can use to send your imported item to yourself, especially from China. 100% secured, safe, and at best very, very economical, even faster than DHL most times. So the second one is Hong Kong Post, Singapore Post, and China Post, Sweden Post, and all. The truth is, this class of post, this class of courier company, courier service, is just as slow as a snail. Right? It's as slow as a snail. But that doesn't mean you can't use them. Hong Kong Post is very fine. I've used them a lot of times. And the only problem with them, the problem with the slowness, is not about them. It's about us here. Because these posts, when they come in here, they are being handled by NIPOST. And as you know, our NIPOST doesn't function the way a postal service should. How did I know? I sent something through Hong Kong Post, and it came through NIPOST, and I went to the post office to pick it up. So while I was discussing with the lady, I was trying to know why all these things are slow. She confided in me. She told me that the truth is, it is not actually the fault of Hong Kong Post and Singapore Post that these things sent through them, take time to get to the receiver, to the consignee in Nigeria. That the slowness, the delay, is caused by the NIPOST, or from the NIPOST end here. All right. And he went ahead to even prove it with the fact that the same plane, for economic reasons, the same plane, NIPOST plane, because the government plane that brings in these products, that picks it up from Hong Kong Post, Singapore Post, and bring into NIPOST in Nigeria, are also being used most times by DHL and EMS and FedEx, because they pay cheaper using them. All right. But what happens is, when this aircraft lands in Lagos in Nigeria, all these DHL, EMS, and co rush immediately to these to the airports or wherever, pick up theirs and start distributing. That's why you get it faster with DHL and EMS. But then, because of the bureaucratic bottlenecks and negligence and inefficiency in the system, it might take NIPOST another 1 week or so to pick up that from the office and take it to the nearest NIPOST office, where it will be sorted again, taken to the nearest one again in another location, where it will be sorted. Before it gets to you, you find that it's taking up to 2-3, in some points 1 week. Most times it even gets to the post office that is even closer to the recipient. Just a call for the recipient to come and pick it, or they take it to the recipient's house. They don't call you. All right. That is why most times these NIPOST take a lot of time to get to you. No, but if you're in Lagos, and if you be very truthful to yourself, you should understand that if you send stuffs, especially through Hong Kong Post, you get it faster, because once it gets to Lagos, you will only have to contend with you know, the delay in sorting it and taking it to your location, or calling you on phone. That is why I've gotten items sent through on call post in 9 days, 10 days, and so. All right, but for people outside Lagos, it will take extra time. I just pray the new government and all fixes all these things, because it's just not funny. NIPOS is cheaper, take it or leave it. It's very cheap, but then we don't like a situation whereby we are expecting an item, a consignment, and it taking ages. No, it doesn't. Nobody does. All right, so with all these bottlenecks and all these roadblocks, we came to a discovery, came to discover some logistic companies in Lagos that can help you transport your imported items from China down to Nigeria here, cheaper, faster, even faster than DHL. And I'll be letting us into 3 of these companies, and I'll be letting you into the one I use especially. All right, but before that, I want to point out some things. These logistic companies work in 2 ways. When your goods get to them in their China address, you can choose whether to send it through the express shipping method, which takes just 72 hours to get to Nigeria. As a matter of fact, I've gotten mine in less than 48 hours. You know, but I will just say for 72 hours in case of unforeseen events. That's express. It takes a small amount of time, 48 to 72 hours, to get to you in Lagos. All right, and cost more. Then the next one is a normal. The normal is the one that takes about 10 days to get to you. 10 days, because they have to consolidate. You know, if they receive just your item for the day, they won't send until they consolidate and get a certain amount of weight, because the more they send, the cheaper it becomes for them. You know, so they consolidate. That's normal, and it costs way cheaper. I think half of the price of sending through express. Now, why would one want to use express, and when is the ideal time to use express? When is the ideal time to use normal? I would explain that with the scenario I'm into right now. Okay, I bought a device called a handsome up enlargement device. Actually, I bought about 20 pieces, you know, to test out how it would do in the market, and I used express. Because already I have even people, I advertised it before I ordered, so I have people even that have placed orders already. So I used express, and in 3 days it landed, and I distributed to those guys that have ordered for it. Good. Now, while the 20 pieces were selling, I noticed that people were interested in it, and of course more people were coming for it. Okay, now what I now did was I placed more order for about 200 pieces. I placed this order and I used normal. The idea is this: before the 20 pieces, before I sell off the 20 pieces, I sell all of the 20 pieces I already bought. You know, I think it should take up to, like, let's say 5, 6, 7 days. The 200 pieces I've ordered and I've used normal shipping to bring in must have come. Then there won't be something like a gap. I don't know if this is very clear. You use the express shipping when you want to bring in few number of the items, so that you have some selling already, and then when you need to order more, you now use normal, so that you save on shipping. I think that's wise and clear enough. Now, what are these 3 logistic companies I talked about that you can use? The first one, I think you know about them already. You should have heard about them somewhere or from my materials. Is Nonny King's Logistics. And I'll tell you frankly, the owner of Nonny King's Logistics, not the boost, but when I cough, he wants to do anything in his... Okay, let me just put it this way. Recently, he had to employ 1 more staff in his Lagos office, because I actually scolded him on how their staffs are not able to cope with the number of requests, the number of businesses they are getting. So I had to employ 1 person. Sometimes he will call me from China. He's an Igbo man, Michael. You know, sometimes he'll call me from China and he'll be lamenting how he thinks I don't use their service as much. You know, although that is just mere hallucination. But the point I'm trying to make is, he listens to me. All right. Now, there's something about these Nonny Kings. You use your BBM, you use an email, you call on phone and people pick. you WhatsApp and all that. But the truth is, these guys are old school. They don't do much of those things I just mentioned. So don't expect them to be updating you each and every time you have a consignment waiting with them. No, don't expect that. But I will tell you how to save yourself from headache, and you will never regret it. All right. On the screen is their China address there, and I think I'll also include it in the text file. I'll be making the download link available at the end of the video, towards the end of the whole video tutorial. Right. But the China address is on the screen there, and if the address in Chinese is also on the screen there. Then the WhatsApp number in China, that's the Michael's number, and then the other guy is the other lady is Judy. Judy is a Chinese girl. Judy is very, 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 hardworking. She doesn't even behave like a Chinese. So you feel free to do. Michael is your boss, so you don't necessarily need to disturb Michael, or Judy will handle all your concerns for you. Now, this is what happens. Let's say you are buying from Alibaba or AliExpress or anywhere in China, and you want to use Noni Kings or any of other logistic companies I'll mention later on to bring in your imported products. This is how you do it. Okay, you chat with your seller and tell him you are using your private logistic company. Your agent is in Guangzhou, China. They'll be taking care of the shipping for you. All right. Now, on AliExpress, most of them will not agree, but if they don't, pressure them. If they refuse, forget them and go over to another seller. The good thing is there are 1,001 sellers on all these platforms you can choose from, so nobody should actually try to slow things down for you. Now, once they've agreed, you copy this address. I like to copy it in China and in English and paste to the person. All right, if you're making payment on AliExpress, you notice that you can't use this address on AliExpress. Just use your normal address and make the order, and then message the seller. Sorry, don't send this message to the address on the order. Send it to this very address, please. Don't forget. If you forget, you will bear the cost. Please don't send it to the address on the order. Send it to this very address I'm sending you here. Send it to him via message on AliExpress or Alibaba. Send it to him via chat. Send it to him via WhatsApp. Send it to him via email. As any way you can send the address to him. Now, while sending the address, you need to include your name. I will include my name, Patrick Ogidi, and then I'll include my Nigerian number, 0809070. My Nigerian number. Okay, and then I'll also say down. I'll say Chinese agent's number. Then include Judy's number, the one that ends with 77. This one. All right, includes Judy's number, not Michael's number. When you must have put in the address, you put in your name, your phone number, this China address, and then and on the bottom side you put in agent's number. Judy, put his number there. All right. Then if you are also on WhatsApp, add Judy on WhatsApp. Add Judy on WhatsApp. Then when your supplier sends the item to the address, he is meant to supply you a tracking code. All right. See, China is too big. Sometimes it takes 4 days to even send something from one part of China to the other. If where your seller resides is not close to Guangzhou, then expect the item in 3 to 4 days. China is very, very big. Sometimes they travel 19 hours on the road. They fly 12 hours on air to get from one part of China to the other. So don't think it is just something like Lagos to Abuja that you go in 6 hours, or Lagos to Owerri and all that. So you need to allow like 3 to 4 days. Then when you've gotten the tracking number, the first thing you do, you can track it yourself. Fine, you can even track it and know when it's been picked up by Judy in Guangzhou. Now contact Judy on WhatsApp. She's always very active on WhatsApp, but don't make it look like she's only chatting with you, because the next thing you tell me, I chat with that girl, she hasn't replied since yesterday. No, she chats with more than 1,000 people, Nigerians. So you need to be patient sometimes. And also note that there's this time difference between China and us. Like right now, I'm shooting this video in Nigeria, and I would show you the time in Nigeria and the time in China. So you should be very, very mindful of that. Okay, I will check time in Nigeria. Time in Nigeria. Google knows everything. Okay, Tuesday, 28th April. Time in Nigeria, 2 minutes after 1. 2 minutes after 1. Okay, let's now change it to 2 minutes after 1 p.m. Let's change it to Guangzhou. That is where Money King's office are. The other office, their time there is 2 minutes after 8. That, I think, 7 hours. They are 7 hours ahead. So you need to put this into consideration while you make all your transactions and all. So you don't think when you're chatting him, if he's sleeping, he should be replying your chats. No. What I do is, before I chat, I look at the time, and then if he's online, she replies. Believe me, she's very good. She's very good customer care agent. I mean Judy, and not Michael. You only contact Michael when it has gotten out of hand and all. So what you do to Judy is, you say, Judy, I'm expecting this product from this person, and this is the tracking ID. She will ask you if you don't supply it. You drop the tracking ID. Cool. Once you drop the tracking ID, she tell you, okay, we'll let you know when we get it. So after about 2 days, she will update you and tell you. In fact, as a matter of fact, you don't need to wait for it. They just be tracking it on your own. Then when you track it on your own, okay, when you track it on your own and you get to see that the item has been picked up, contact the Judy again and tell her, Judy, my item has been picked up. Please, I want it to be shipped via normal or express. I've talked about those ones earlier on in the video. All right. So you choose whether you want it shipped to you through normal or express, whichever way she tells you the charges. As a matter of fact, you pay nothing until your goods get to them in Lagos here. And once your goods has been shipped, if it's normal, in 2-3 days time, you should be expecting a text from Joy in Lagos. That's Joy's number in Lagos there. You can add her on WhatsApp, but then she doesn't chat. As a matter of fact, when you get to her office, you understand why she shouldn't chat. The lady gets more than 2,000 calls in a day, and she's been complaining lately about ear problem. She called me the other day and was complaining, and I understand with her. But she says if your goods get to them, the next thing they will do is to send you a text on that number on your goods, on the carton. That is why you need to put in your correct number. As a matter of fact, put in more than 1 Nigerian numbers, so that when it gets to them, Joy will text you, come to this place, which tell you the weight of your product and everything. Then you come there, pay, and then you pick up your goods. All right. I think Augusta takes care of the normal shipping, while Joy takes care of the express shipping. This is the office address: Amazing Grace Plaza, number 14 Oshitelu Street, opposite GT Bank Computer Village. Just get to GTB, ask for Oshitelu Street or the GTB. Sorry, just get to Computer Village, ask for the GTB in Computer Village, almost opposite it. Look for Amazing Grace Plaza. Walk in there and ask of Money Kings. That's where their warehouse is. You go there, pick up your item, you pay, and that's it. All right. Okay. Now, some of you might be asking, okay, let's look at their charges. As of now, the charges changes with time. It could change tomorrow. It could change anytime. So I think this is the current charge while this video was being produced. Okay. As at the time of doing this course, shipping method will be from China to Nigeria. Express $9 per kg plus 450 naira per kg, and it takes 1 day, but allow extra 2 days, or sometimes you get it the next day, but I love to be wowed. Let me just put my mind on 3 days and then let me get it in 1 day, so that I'll be embarrassed, so kind of positively. So normal 4.7 kg dollars per kg plus 280 per kg, and it takes 7 days to 10 days. They will tell you 7 days, but just allow extra 3 days. Okay, the C isn't really our concern for now. It's not our business for now, so we're interested in these two: express and normal. Okay, a word on shipping for those outside Lagos. Now you are outside Lagos and you think you cannot use Money Kings. You are outside Lagos and you think you cannot use them. How would you be collecting your product from them and all? No, there's a way out. Okay, there's a boy that works there. I've gone into some kind of understanding with him, and I told him I have a lot of customers outside Lagos, that want to use Money Kings, but the truth is, somebody, it doesn't make sense having somebody from Maiduguri travel away to Maiduguri to come and claim their goods in Lagos. It doesn't make any sense. So what you do in that point is go ahead and use Noni Kings, and if you have any consignment, call the number on your screen. His name is Emeka. He's a very loyal boy. I didn't mean you should kill him. No, he's a very quiet guy. Tell him, to forward that text you receive, because they will push you a text. Forward the text to Emeka's number. Call him before then and tell him, this is this. Please pick it up. I'll pay into your account. Help me pick it up, and then send it to them. Send it to me in my location using transport company. You pay the transport company and maybe tip Emeka whatever you want or whatever he asks for. It's not set on stone. You guys can just talk about it and discuss about that. But the truth is, Emeka can help you send your products through transport company the same day it gets to them or the next day to any location in Nigeria for you, saving you the cost of trying to drive down or travel down to Lagos to pick up your item. No, it doesn't make sense that way. So Emeka should always be there to help you. I pay into his account. When I get orders, I pay into his account. He brings it to my office, because I don't want, maybe my staffs are so busy, or I don't want to start going to Computer Village, because if I go to Computer Village, I need to pay for parking space, 500 naira or thereabout, and then now go there and start carrying it, looking for, so I just pay Emeka, he brings it to my office. For now, he works with Noni Kings and is reliable as much as I can tell. So that's about those who wants to use Noni Kings now, but are not in Lagos. Emeka to the rescue. All right, the next one, there is St. Patrick's International. Yeah, the St. Patrick's doesn't belong to me. It's just a company that works in the same way as Noni Kings. Just the same thing as Noni Kings. Their details are on the site. There's no need stressing much on this. I think you can also call them on the Nigerian line if you have an item with them, and they can arrange how it can be sent to them. I don't use them, but they are trustworthy. I have lots of friends that use them. I use Noni Kings, and Noni Kings is somehow cheaper. All right, I think they are the same thing, but I think I prefer Noni Kings. All right. Then the third company there is Chris Vic Mall. I think I'll need to go to the site Chris Vic Mall. Let me click on it and see. Trying to open. All right, this is Chris Vic Mall, and you can also use them for shipping. The only thing here is they are expensive. They're more expensive than the two I mentioned before. But one good thing about them is that they are somehow technology friendly. They'll be updating you, they'll be updating you and all stuff like that. But that's really nothing. Okay. And as you can see, they don't charge you clearing fee, but they charge everything inside their fee. Their express for 1 kg costs about $12, while others are charging $9. So it's crazy. What I know is the other guys they're cheaper than these guys, but if you also want to use them, fine, it's fine. And their express for 10 their normal for 1 kg goes for $8, while others are about $5 or thereabouts. So it's something crazy. I don't think anybody want to waste their money this much on this. Okay, so it's it's expensive. That's expensive, but if you also think, and they charge you higher in their exchange rate and all, so but if you still want to use them, I don't use them for shipping. I don't use them at all. The one I use is Noni Kings, and I've been cool with them. If you're just cool, you should go ahead and use Noni Kings. All right. All right, so that's that about shipping. That's that about shipping. And I think I should just go through the whole thing one more time, even though there won't be any. I don't think there's a need for that. All right, I think there's a need for that. Okay. Alright, DHL, Hong Kong Post, and the rest, and then you can use them logistic companies, which is my best. And in logistic companies, Noni Kings should be your friend. And if you're outside Lagos, Emeka is there to help you. Use any of these transport companies and send it to your location. Then St. Patrick's is another one. Then Chris Vic Mall is another one. Believe me, Noni Kings is the way to go. Thank you, and see you on the other video.